Hello friends, today our topic is the operating characteristics of the queuing system or the queuing model. In the previous video already we have discussed about the structure and the models of the queuing system or queuing model. Now today we are discussing about the operating characteristics of the queuing system. So proceeding in the first one term, that is known as the operating or queue length, and that is denoted by LQ. That is known as the average numbers of customers in the queue waiting to get service. This excludes the customers being served. That means if we look at the diagram, here the customers arriving from the end and waiting, and after that the customer is being served from the server or the service provider. So LQ, that means the queue length is particularly the length or the number of customers who are waiting in the queue, those who are being served in the by the service provider is not included in the LQ. LQ is the length of the queue, that means the number of customers are waiting in the queue or the waiting line. Next term, that is known as system length. The average number of customers in the system, including the customers who are waiting in the line, as well as the customers those being served. That means the total number of customers who are in the queue or in the waiting line, and also who are being served by the service provider, those are particularly known as the system length, and that is particularly the average number of customers. So that means system length means that is our LS, that means the total number of customers in the queue and the customers who are also being served at the same time, and that is the average number of customers. Next term, that is waiting time in the queue, that is particularly for the customers. The average time for which a customer has to wait in the queue to get service, and that is denoted by WQ. WQ means a customer is arriving from here, standing at the queue, and after that it is being served, but the average time a customer is waiting in the queue, that is termed as the waiting time in the queue, and that is the average time. So that means you may say you are one customer, you are standing in the queue, then waiting for that one, then the next in the stand, then once again you are arriving to the service provider, then just before the service provider servicing you, the average time, suppose it is 1 hour, so that is the waiting time for the customer or for you now as the WS, or that is also known as WQ. Now that is WS, that is the total time in the system. The average total time spent by a customer in the system from the moment the customer arrives till he'll leave the system. It is the time taken to be the waiting time plus the service time. So that means you are coming here just the moment you are joining the queue, then you have waited for WQ time, that is your waiting time, and after that you are being served, and that has been taken some time. So after that you have departure from the server. So that is the total time you have spent in the system, and that is known as the total time in the system, and that is our WS. So there are particularly four most important terms, that is queue length. Second one, system length. Queue length is not containing the customer who are being served, but the system length means the customers who are being in the queue and also are being served. Then waiting time in the queue, that is the average time for the customer who are waiting in the queue only, that exclude the time of the service. And total time in the system means the customer from joining the queue up to just its departure, the departure of the customer, the total time taken by the total system for the customer is known as the total time. Next, very important factor is known as utilization factor. It is the proportion of time a server actually spends with the customers. That means when the service provider is giving you the service, suppose you are the customer, the service provider is giving you the service. Suppose it takes 5 minutes. So how much time, that is a particularly ratio, how much time or how much ratio is the service is utilizing, or what is the utilization of the service, that is known as the utilization factor. It is known that if the server spends more time with the customers, then it is more utilized, and its utilization factor is treated as good. So suppose if we write that utilization factor according to the mathematical terms, then it is known as traffic intensity. That is known as traffic intensity, and that one is rho, and that can be treated as mean arrival rate, that has been treated as lambda. Already we have discussed it in the previous video. And mean service rate, and that is treated as mu. So that one is particularly the unit of utilization factor. The unit of utilization factor is known as ERLANG, ERLANG, and that is our how we can find out the traffic intensity or the utilization factor, and its unit is ERLANG. Now we are proceeding to the states of the system. The first one state is particularly known as transient state. Queuing theory involves the study of systems behavior over time, and particularly the queuing theory's system behavior is just nothing, that is its operating characteristics. When the operating characteristics of the queuing theory or the behavior of the system vary with the time, it is said to be in the transient state. Another one is known as, that is steady state. When the system or the queuing system is said to be in steady state, if its behavior becomes independent of its initial conditions and of the elapsed time. That means when the behavior of the system is varying with the time, then it is in the transient state. But if the behavior of the system is not varying or particularly independent with the initial conditions, then it is known as the in steady state. Another important state is there when the arrival rate is greater than the service rate. Suppose customers are coming here, that is the service provider. Okay, so we are thinking about suppose 1 hour. In 1 hour, the average customers arrive suppose 5, and in 1 hour the service provider giving service to 7 customers. Then there is no problem because 5 customers arrive and already in that 1 hour the 5 customers are serviced. So that is not a problem. Now suppose here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 customers arrive in 1 hour and the service provider is giving service to 3 customers in 1 hour. Then what happens? After 1 hour, only 3 customers have been serviced. But in the next hour, once again 5 customers joining the queue. So for each and every hour, there would be 2 customers are adding. So the queue length always increases. That means the arrival rate of the customers is greater than the service rate. That means some explosion of the queue can occur in the system. That's why it is also known as explosive state. Now once again we are proceeding to the transient state. Now what is the transient state? Already we have said a system is said to be in transient state when it is varying with the time. If we write it in mathematically, suppose we may write it a steady state system is the one in which the behavior of the system is independent of time. Already that is known for the steady state. Let PNT denote the probability that there are small n customers in the system at time t. Then in steady state what happens? Limit t tends to infinity and PNT is equal to Pn. That means independent with the time. Okay, and that also if we say in form of differential, that means dd PNT is equal to ddt of dPn, or we may say limit t tends to infinity or Pn first order t is equal to 0. So in the steady state we can also define it by mathematically. So that is the operating characteristics of the queuing system. In the next video we will discuss about the notation of the queuing model or the queuing system by Kendall's.